الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. قال الله تعالى في التنزيل العزيز بعد أن نقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد. Before I begin, Sheikh Adnan was supposed to do the khutbah in the first khutbah here today, and he is not feeling well, so please remember him in your dua. And if anybody is scheduled for a khutbah and they don't show up, please assume that they're not feeling well, because as you know, everybody is getting sick. We ask Allah for al-afwa wal-afiyah. Amin ya rabbal alamin. أما بعد، عن عبد الله بن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس، الصحة والفراغ. رواه البخاري. وكنت مصاب بكورونا فأتذكر هذا الحديث وأفكر في هذا الحديث، في معنى هذا الحديث. فقال مثلا شيخ ابن عثيمين في شرح هذا الحديث، قال: هذان النعمتان مغلوب فيهما كثير من الناس. أي الإنسان إذا كان صحيحا كان قادرا على ما أمره الله به أن يفعله، وكان قادرا على ما نهاه الله عنه أن يتركه، لأنه صحيح البدن منشرح الصدر. أما إذا كان مصاب بمرض أو كان مغلوب أو كان مثلا مصاب بمرض أو النعمة فقدت عنده، نعمة الفراغ ونعمة الصحة، فهذا يعجز عن القيام بما أوجبه الله سبحانه وتعالى. وقد يكون ضيق الصدر ولا يشرح صدره ويتعب نفسه، وقد ينشغل بطلب النفقة له ولعياله حتى تفوته كثير من الطاعات. This hadith, I was thinking about this because recently I contracted Covid-19, and I was thinking about this hadith that is in Sahih Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ saying that there are two blessings that people don't think much of. They don't value them much. And these are the two blessings of health and time, free time. And he uses a specific word, مَغْبُونٌ فِيهِمَا كَثِيرٌ مِنَ النَّاسِ. مَغْبُون, from the word غَبْن. The word ghabn, this comes in the Quran once, from this root, يَوْمَ التَّغَابُن, the surah that's in the 28th juz. And it's an interesting, very, very important word, because if you understand the word, you understand what he's trying to get at, alayhi salatu wasalam. The summary of it is that these two blessings are valued only when they're lost. When a person doesn't have time, that's when they look back and at the time when they had free time and opportunity. When a person is sick, they look back at the time when they were well. And this is how people are. كَثِيرٌ مِّنَ النَّاسِ. Lots of people are like this. Lots of people live like this and then end up regretting the lost opportunity of health and well-being. And I felt the same when I was in quarantine and recovering, because I felt that this is a waste of time. Not a waste of time in the sense that you have to take care of your health, but I can't do anything. I just have to lie in bed. I can't even get up to do anything as simple as go and outside and get something. I can't, right? Even praying is a very difficult undertaking when you are going through this, going through COVID. So it made me think, and this is why I'm sharing this hadith with you. Perhaps this is food for thought, and perhaps we can take heed before we get sick. The Prophet used the word مَغْبُونٌ فِيهِمَا كَثِيرٌ مِّنَ النَّاسِ مِنَ الْغَبْنِ. قال الغبن أن تبخس صاحبك في معاملة أو في معاملة بينك وبينه بضرب من الإخفاء. فإن كان ذلك في مال يقال غبن فلان، وإن كان في رأي يقال غبن أو غبنت كذا. Ar-Raghib al-Asfahani explains the linguistics of this word and how it's used as a verb, as a fa'il. But he says the meaning of it is interesting. The meaning of it is maghboon, or comes from the word ghaban, which is there is an element of loss and there's an element of ambiguity. بِضَرْبٍ مِنَ الْإِخْفَاء. Something is hidden, it's not clear, and only becomes clear later on. That is what this particular word is referring to. So when they talk about يَوْمُ التَّغَابُن, the day of judgment is called the day of taghabun. It's the day where people are in a state of loss. They would look back at their life regretfully. They will look back at the opportunities they had very regretfully. The choices they made, they will be regretting those choices if their choices were not good. Even the believer will regret losing opportunity for good that they had a chance to do when they were alive. Even the believer would be regretting on that day. That's why when the Quran calls the day of judgment يَوْمَ الْحَسْرَةِ. And also, he says there is a بِضَرْبٍ مِنَ الْإِخْفَاء. It's not clear until it happens. So this is an interesting way the Prophet ﷺ is describing the two blessings that we have. We all value our health. We all value free time. We all know how important they are. But in reality, the true value of it is hidden from us until we finally lose it. Until we are occupied. Until we are sick. That is when it truly appears to us that, oh my goodness, my health was so valuable. My time was so valuable. This is why the Prophet ﷺ is using this particular word to highlight the idea that these two blessings, you know this, I know this, but really when you lose them, that's when you will know exactly what you're missing out on. And this is what I was thinking. I was thinking about this also when, for example, before I had kids, plenty of time to do whatever it is you want to do. You're free to read, you're free to work on something, you're free to do whatever it is that's floats your boat. And once you have kids, and your kids occupy your life, there is very little time left. Very little time. Like my Zoom meetings, every time there's a kid that shows up in the Zoom meeting, whoever is there, they find it funny. But this is how life is. You're trying to make as much as you can while balancing all these responsibilities. The loss of faragh, the loss of free time, the loss of being able to choose what we are able to do, that is only realized at the instance of the loss. That is what the Prophet ﷺ is referring to. The reminder for me and the reminder for you is this, brothers and sisters. As we are going through the pandemic and continue to go through the pandemic, as the whole world is going through it still, and we are in this community going through it, if you see someone who is sick, reach out to them, because they are feeling this loss. They are feeling this overbearing loss. I felt it. Anybody who is sick, they're feeling it. That everything has to be stopped. This is a very unique aspect of this disease. That you have to drop everything, you have to stop everything, you have to confine yourself. It's almost like being in prison. It's almost like being in prison because you literally cannot go anywhere or do anything. And even if you are able to do something, the overwhelming sensation of tiredness, the sensation of just losing energy to doing things that are basic and small, these are difficult to bear. If you see someone or you hear of someone who has this disease, reach out to them. Tell them a good word. Share with them a reminder from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And then the ibrah is for the one who is mu'afan fi jasadihi, the person who is healthy. There's ibrah for them. There is a lesson for them that this health of mine is a great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I need to use it. I need to be able to benefit from it. I need to be able to, as Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen says in the sharh I was reading, do what Allah has commanded me to do. Leave what Allah has commanded me to leave. While I'm capable of doing so. While I'm, like if a disease puts you in bed and you're not doing something haram, that's because you're sick. That's why you are, that's what stopped you. But if a person in health chooses to stop themselves for something that is a haram aspect or something that is discouraged in the religion, that is where the true expression of taqwa lies. To do something when you are capable, or to stop yourself from something when you are capable. So we take this as ibrah. This was one thought I had when I was sick about the two blessings of al-sihha wal-faragh. And we ask Allah to give everybody sihha and to give everybody afiyah and mu'afa in their health. And we ask Allah, yarfa anna hadha al-bala, that He removes this devastating disease from us. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. The second thing is that I was thinking about, as I was going through this, the difficulty of being in bed, was how, subhanallah, how weak we are. How weak. وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا, like the Quran says. Human beings were created weak. And how the Quran describes this. Constantly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to look at فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ مِمَّ خُلِقَ. A person should look at from where they were created, the origins of the human. خُلِقَ مِن مَاءٍ دَافِقٍ. From humble origins. From a fluid, a flowing fluid. That was the source of every person's conception in the womb of their mother. That was their source. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ فَإِذَا هُوَ خَصِيمٌ مُبِينٌ. The Quran says we made human beings from a drop of sperm, and now look, he is arguing about the reality of God and what is moral and what's immoral. Look at the origins. If we feel arrogant, if we feel that this world is at our disposal, if we feel that the deen and everything that the deen brings is unnecessary, فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ مِمَّ خُلِقَ. Look at your origins. Humble yourselves by looking at where you started from and where you will end up. It's a humbling experience, and it's a reminder. The Quran constantly asks us to look at that as a reminder to humble ourselves, to lower ourselves. The weakness that is inherent in us as humans. It becomes very obvious when you are sick. It becomes extremely obvious. And I was thinking about how we take our strength for granted, especially those of us who are healthy in normal times, are able-bodied. We take it for granted and think nothing of it. But only when we are afflicted with disease do we realize how truly incapable we are and how truly powerful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. That we are literally at His disposal. يَفْعَلُ بِنَا مَا يَشَاءُ. Does whatever He wants with us. The Quran, there's a very interesting expression the Quran uses. وَاللَّهُ غَالِبٌ عَلَى أَمْرِهِ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. In Surah Yusuf, Allah says, Allah is ghalibun. He is dominant over His affair, over His matter. But most people don't realize. Our Christian friends, they say, God works in mysterious ways. We don't say that. We say God works in dominant ways. He is the most dominant. When He is in control, you will feel His control. That is what Allahu ghalibun ala amrihi. He lets us feel like we're powerful and in charge. But this sickness is a reminder. Our inability to cope with difficulty of disease is a reminder. Our weakness is a reminder of truly who is in charge. And this should be a reminder as a wake-up call for us. أقول ما تسمعون واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن والاه أما بعد إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد في الأولين وفي الآخرين وصل على محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين اللهم أحينا على سنته ومتنا على ملته واحشرنا في زمرته واسقنا من حوضه يا رب العالمين اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية في الدنيا والآخرة اللهم ارفع عنا هذا البلاء يا رب العالمين Oh Allah, remove from us this devastation يا رب العالمين اللهم ارفع عنا مقتك وغضبك يا رب العالمين اللهم اشف مرضانا وعافي مبتلانا وارحم موتانا وفك قيد أسرانا وتقبل شهداءنا يا رب العالمين وأقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Please make sure that you're wearing your mask the whole time over your faces. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.